Good morning, entrepreneurs. Salini here, founder of 700 Business, and this is day 8 of 30 days of wisdom and meditation. And today is a special day because it's celebrated all around the world, Women's Day. And I know sometimes we feel like this is not really a celebration, it's more like something that is there. It's not something that change much of our challenges on a day by day. And I agree with you, partially agree with you. But I guess it is important to have a day to remember that how amazing women are, how amazing we are. And women in business, it's so necessary because we don't only think of ourselves. Actually, I think we think more of others than ourselves. That's our biggest problem. We look after others much more than we look after ourselves. And partially this is good for business because we always have the customer at the front and at the heart of the business, but often we forget about ourselves. And we push ourselves to our limits, to the limit of our energies sometimes. And I think last month I came across a very interesting book called The Blood Book, Honor Your Cycle, It's Sacred, something like this. And it gave me a completely different perspective from what is like to be a woman, what is like to honor myself and honor who I am. And in this book they mention like it's all about cycle. So it starts in a winter when we have our period, and then it goes to spring, summer, and then autumn, and then winter again. So the day 1 of winter is the day we have a period. And they also talk about like the difference in energy, the difference in many other things. So I had never had contact with this information before. I don't think women talk enough about it. And female entrepreneurs already push themselves a lot. I used to be like that. I used to push myself to more than my limit, really. But when we know that we are different every day during this our cycle, it's what the authors called moon cycle. And when we have this information, we know that we are going to be different every day of our month, let's say. We're not going to have the same level of energy every day, and we feel really guilty for not having this, because men have a very flat level of energy. They don't go up or down, it's just really flat, and we think we should be like them. And this is really tiring, really stressful, because we put pressure on ourselves that it's unhuman, it's impossible to achieve that. So it's important for us to understand that these different types of self is going to be present every day of your life, every month, every year. And the best you can do for yourself and for your business and for your life is to honor each day of your life, each day that you are different. So the author says during the winter, when we are bleeding, it's important to rest. It's important to, just channel some ideas and some inspirations, because then we move to spring. Spring is when we plant new seeds. And then we have summer, when we can work on our projects, or we can work on whatever we want to do in that month. And we have an extra boost of energy during that time. And if we have clarity on what we want to do, we are unstoppable. For a week, about 2 weeks, we have a lot of energy. But then our energy starts going down. In autumn, it's when we have less energy. And the authors also say that we should never make a deadline or to schedule a deadline for around this time, because we know we're going to be tired, we're going to be more critical. That's another thing that happens during our autumn, is that we become very critical towards ourselves and towards others. So it's important, all these information is really important to acknowledge and to learn, so we can have peace during our days, during our month. 700 Business was created to really make businesses more human-centered for entrepreneurs as well, because at the moment we want to create businesses that are more human-centered for customers. We put them in the front and at the core of the business. But how about ourselves? And I think as a female entrepreneur, it's so important to have knowledge. So it's important for all of us to know ourselves, to learn who we really are deep down, and to understand what makes us feel better or feel not really good. But as female entrepreneurs especially, it's essential to understand our cycle, to understand when we have more energy or less energy. And also because all of this is going to bring compassion, it's going to make our businesses human-centered, starting by ourselves. And then when we are compassionate to ourselves, when we are loving and generous to ourselves, it's so much easier to be compassionate and loving, and put the other at the front and the center of the business. It's so much easier. But I truly believe it starts with us entrepreneurs, and especially us women, who we are bringing a completely different perspective to businesses. We're bringing more this human center, I'm sure, was started by us in a point of history. And in order for us to continue that, we really need to have compassion and love for ourselves, and going on our own pace and improving as much as we can, but with love and compassion. Okay, so that's the wisdom for today, and let's meditate. Take a deep breath into your nose and out through your nose. Focus now on the energy of your heart, your beautiful, powerful heart. Now you're going to imagine that the energy of your heart is going to expand everywhere to your body and going down through your legs, finding the earth, going through layers and layers and layers of rock, and finding the center of the earth. Take a time to notice what it feels like to be grounded, to be safe. Now you're going to imagine that this energy is going to expand out to the whole place you're in, the house or the flat you're in, the city that you're in, the country, to all the nations, all the seas, all the mountains and valleys. Imagine your energy expanding and becoming one with the earth. Take a deep breath. Now you can imagine that you're going to expand to the whole universe. All the planets, all the galaxies, all the stars. You become one with everything in the universe. Take another deep breath as we expand it even further to everything beyond the universe. Imagine there's some lights and you're going to expand there. You're going to become one with all those lights beyond the universe. Take a deep breath. Now imagine that everything turns into a white light. Everything beyond the universe, the whole universe, our planet and you, everything turns into this white light. It takes time to notice what it feels like to be one with everything. What it feels like to be one with everything. Take a deep, deep breath. Now you can imagine that all the knowledge about yourself, everything that makes you happy, everything that makes you sad, everything that boosts your energy, everything that drains your energy, is going to come to you. All this knowledge is going to be at the top of your head. And you know how to treat the most important person in the world. Imagine that there's so much love for yourself surrounding you and inside of you. Take a deep, deep breath. Imagine now that you honor who you are. Imagine now that you honor being a woman. And if you're a man, imagine that you honor the women in your life. And this comes easy. And you see the positive ripples of it. And you feel the positive ripples of it. Take a deep, deep, deep breath. Keep breathing, keep connecting to the deepest of yourself. And let compassion and generosity come into your life. And use it with yourself first. It's going to be much, much easier to do that and to be generous and kind to others. Take a deep, deep breath. When you're ready, you can open your eyes.